خدای دې وکړي چې ښه وای، جوړ وای، روغ وای، تکړه وای، صحت کې وای، مینه محبت کې وای، دوستۍ کې وای، اتفاقۍ کې وای. زی تاسو په تینګړه ککای زه نن دلته ذکیره خوري سره یم چې سلام میډیا کې کور کې زه دلته خپل کور کې ما کړی یم او مو سره مصاحبه کې. خدای دې وکړي چې تاسو ته خوند درکړي. ذکیره sister, thank you for giving me a space, for sharing your precious time and giving me a chance to be part of your lovely community. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you so much, Nadima. Jazakallah for you giving us the opportunity to grace us with your presence and your beauty and your kindness. We really appreciate that.
And you've been watched by the community in Afghanistan and other parts of the world. So you can do your greeting as well. And of course, I will do the greeting for your community as well.
Assalamu alaikum, people of Afghanistan. On behalf of all the people in Lodium, we really thank you for sending Nadima to our community and to our country to grace us and to tell us more about your country and the suffering and the entire things that's going on in there. We really appreciate this information, and we are welcoming all the awareness. And inshallah, if we work together, inshallah, Allah take us to greater heights, and we can sort out all the problems that our ummah is facing.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your dua. That's lovely.
Ameen, ameen. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Zaki Bhika on behalf of Salam Media, and with me today is Nadima, an Afghan Canadian humanitarian activist that has been on tour for almost a week in South Africa with her lovely companion Mariam Mia. And for those of you that don't know Mariam is one of the top presenters on Salam Media. And if you haven't tuned into her show, it's called the Mid-Morning Show, Mid-Morning Talk by Mariam Mia. And I think you all should get involved, listen to her talk shows. She discusses very pertinent issues. So if you haven't been there, go on to Salam Media's website and get in touch and start listening to her talk shows. Jazakallah for that, Mariam. Okay, as usual, Lodium is always willing to accept awareness and activists and to show them our generosity and our hospitality. And this is not a different circumstance. With me right now is Nadima. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam, Zakira Khuri. ستړي مشه خدای دې وکړي چې ښه وای، جوړ وای، روغ وای، تکړه وای، صحت کې وای، مینه محبت کې وای، دوستۍ کې وای، اتفاقۍ کې وای. زی تاسو په تینګړه ککای. Thank you so much, Zakira sister, and thanks to Salam Media for having wonderful sisters like yourself and Mariam Mia in their community. So important to have women that have kind voices and that have empathy, which is so much needed in our community. And thank you to all your community and all the listeners for joining. Thank you so much. Thanks to your husband who's been so supportive. We need to empower our men, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Nadima, I've been following all your interviews with the many that you did with Salam Media, with Buzz Africa, with South Africa, SAFM. And I realized that you are such a warm and wonderful and light-hearted person. So I wanted to change the whole narrative of my interview. And I wanted to dissect Nadima and not call it Grey's Anatomy, maybe call it Nadima's Anatomy. And I want to know what is it that makes Nadima tick as a human being, not as an activist. So that is what I want to do.
Took you many words turns me off, like when I'm ready to bring war to you.
Yes.
Well, first, I understand the language that's been used in the communities in South Africa and around the world. There's words that have been completely diluted and they've lost their purpose. So I stay away from that language, like activist, feminist. I feel like they've lost its purpose, and now they've been used against humanity, especially family structure. So for me, I'm just a Nadima, and I understand when I was coming, Mariam said, Nadima, so how do I introduce you? I said, just Nadima. I said, no. I said, okay, humanitarian. Okay. So, I'm for humanity, for communities, creating, honestly, greatness. To me, greatness in this context is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala affirming our greatness for our oneness. Oneness as in Allah again, Ahad, but in this context, family.
Yes.
I think that is so important. We need to refocus on where we started and why we're here and where we're going. And that is the family. The family as in the community, the language, the food, the unity, supporting each other, building each other. So that's what I'm really here. And of course, to come and see that in South African community and learn from it and see how you all are united, how you support each other, how our women voices are heard, how are the men supporting, and how can I take, and by taking that and bringing it to my community, because my country has been through so much, the people. We've been broken. We're not a poor country, nor are we poor people. We're one of the richest land in the world, and we're one of the richest people because of our patience. Our land is obviously filled with so many resources, and our people are rich because of the forgiveness they have, the patience they have, and the effort they put into everyday challenge that they faced with. Despite being targeted based on religion, culture, every tool has been used at us as opposed to empower us and uplift us. So I pray to take all that. And of course, you're asking me I'd rather tell you what inspires me. Because that's positive. That will hopefully inspire another sister, another brother. What uplifts me is when people are good to me. I think more than ever, what's important, not giving something, but teaching. Showing through action how we can uplift each other. That's what I'm also hopefully to receive from the women like yourselves and the women in South Africa and different communities, is how you reached your status. How did you become in a peaceful community? What are the struggles? I don't want to hear about the struggles. It's all gone. It's in the past. It's forgiven. But now, what can I take from your successes story? That is uplift. To move forward in a positive direction for an empowering community. So that's what uplifts me. That what makes me smile. That's what.
Okay. So then the next question: what makes you cry, Nadima? When you lay in bed at night and you can't fall asleep on your pillow, what makes you cry?
Crying is such a privilege because in Afghanistan, I am joyful to be part of a community, to be welcome, to be trusted with the food, the language, the clothes. I'm grateful to have a belonging. Today is a Heritage Day. I feel grateful and humbled and proud to say I'm an Afghan woman, and this is what we make. And it's still alive, and it's still living, and it will continue at all cost. So that gives me joy. But of course, what saddens me is the challenge that we're faced with. And even that I don't get to do. I don't get to sit and cry because I have to stay strong and make sure I have a solution for my widows and my orphans. I have women that husbands are being murdered, son has been murdered in the name of, because they looked a certain way, they didn't fit a certain narrative, a certain foreign looks. So they've been murdered and they've been killed. And so when I will talk to one woman, they'll say, yes, Nadima, I made these dresses. Can you make sure they go in the market? Can you sell it for me? I'm like, okay, I'm happy. Like, yes, she's doing business. And then I'll have another woman. They're like, Nadima, can you give me some oil and some bread? My daughter is dying. And my son is saying, we're hungry. We don't know how we're going to live tonight. So I don't have that privilege to say, oh, my God, and cry. Because I have to be strong. She looks up to me. She expects me to bring her something. She's telling me, you've come from a country that claims they care about humanity and women empowerment like Canada. So you being here then means you've come here to do something. So if I break down with her, I cannot. I have to uplift her. I have to say, yes, we're going to do it. We're going to find a solution. And whatever bit I have to share. So I don't have that. But yes, I am grateful, but I'm also sad for my community. But I am happy that I am part of it. And that gives me hope. And that makes me look forward to the future. But I don't have, I bet you can cry. And you have an environment, it's quiet, it's peaceful. And you can express. Even we take that for granted to be able to express how we feel. My women, my men, we don't have that. We're trying to survive. We're trying to dodge from the drones these days. Do you know they have drones in my country?
Yes, so you're basically in survival mode all the time.
Yes, my people are, and when you're in that being in that community, I am part of that. So we're constantly like, okay, who's gonna get killed today? In what name? What is the justification? So we're not at peace still. Do you know we have drones that are killing my people? So we're still not completely been left alone to live our lives, you know?
So, Nadima, how do you deal? The way you're explaining, you basically loving looking over your shoulder. How do you deal with the pressure and the stress?
You see, when I was training with my brother's all in fitness, and I love lifting weights. You know, it's very empowering for me because it's so healthy and it's strengthening. So I realized that life is like the gym.
Okay.
The harder the weights you lift, the stronger you're going to become. So I affirm to myself, I comfort myself by telling myself, Nadima, the harder they punch, the stronger you got to become. Those punches are to strengthen you because at the end of the day, we're all going to die.
Yes.
And we're going to take nothing. But the only thing that you're going to leave is the memory of what you created with the people. So if you created good that's
deeds.
What you're going to take.
Yes,
Is that it?
That's it.
So for me, I look at every punch, every pressure as a strengthening towards my greatness, which is Allah.
Subhanallah.
That's what I do because I don't have any other choice. I have to find a way. So I look at every punch as a way to encourage, okay, Nadima, this is your preparation. And if everybody could do it, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So some of us have to take the punches. But those punches, if we look at them as a way, because it's all in the mind. It's how you take everything. You can either take it as a negative or positive. But if you're paving the way for the truth, and you're removing the dark energy or destruction or whatever you want to call that is creating an isolation, you have to have very strong muscles and strong back to throw those punches and all that darkness away. So that's how I look at life, you know.
Okay, mashallah. A very important question, Nadima. I don't know, you've been here for a week. How do you feel about female toxicity?
Is this the first world problem here?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't. So you're asking me if do we experience that in Afghanistan?
Because I'm sure you've noticed it in South Africa, the competition amongst women, the refusal to work together, the claiming of titles.
So there's been gossip happening. Is there rumors? They call it gupshup. No, honestly, I can only speak for my community. I am so grateful and in an awe of some of you beautiful women. I am really amazed, to be honest, to see the African Muslim women for a couple of factors. 90% of them have husband, mashallah, because I also lived in the West. It's rare when you see a strong, powerful woman holding a home, husband, children, grandchildren, and a position, and she's voicing for those that need the voices. So I'm very happy to see that. It affirmed to me that, Nadima, maybe you should start thinking about husband. I'm really grateful to this for that, because these women affirmed to me that you can have a husband and children and still be the voice. You don't have to just die unmarried, because that's what I had, to be honest with you. I know a lot of my family and my brothers and my cousins are happy to hear that. Yes, I'm ready, because this is my honest truth, because the journey, yes, I want the narrative to be corrected around the world, not just from Afghanistan. A lot of countries, a lot of communities are being targeted now by the social media that we thought was our voice. Now it has become another form of...
Absolutely.
So that was important, but I also realized in this journey, it also became a self journey as well, that, I can learn from these women. So yes, we will have challenges. The darkness is always looking out for those that have the most light, because the darkness also needs some form of,
visibility.
So we have to be careful of that, but we have to also have sabr. We have to be patient, because I know in this community, women are also facing challenges.
Yes.
So I know they will have ups and downs, but overall, you ladies are not that bad. You know, to welcome me, to bring me here.
Yes.
And also, I also have a certain narrative. I also have a certain community I come from. I'm an Afghan woman.
Yes.
We are saving our culture. We have culture that is made up of so many beliefs that have come to our communities. So we're still trying to clean up. I am not... Often the world expects me to speak for Afghanistan, the Muslims, the Hindus.
Yes.
I said, I'm just trying to share my narrative,
Yes.
how I am experiencing. And I think it's also important to address this to all the women, that we must try to lead by our own example, just like our great men and women like Khadija radiallahu anha. In this context, it's the Muslim community. So our Prophet, they were leading by example. They were not saying, I am here. They're like, how is this person so good? Can we know how they're doing it? So let's also look at our action, and also not put pressure to represent one person for the whole. I don't know all of Afghanistan. I haven't been to 34 provinces in Afghanistan. I don't speak all the languages of Afghanistan. I only learned Dari, like we call it Farsi and Dari, in Afghanistan the last year and a half, because my mom speaks Dari.
Okay.
So I'm still new as well. So let's be kind and let's try to understand and look at the big picture.
Yes.
The fact that I'm an Afghan Pashtun woman in South Africa, sitting with you, Zakira.
Yes.
That's amazing. So tomorrow we'll have more and more. Maybe you will have a sister that only speaks Dari.
Yes.
And that is in jeans and t-shirt and she's from Afghani.
Yes.
That's okay too.
Absolutely.
So I'm only sharing the little bit that I know. Yes, there's a pressure for me to present certain communities. But no, I'm only here to try my best to share the little bit that I know as my truth. And hopefully take the truth you carry and make it a brighter light for everybody. You know?
Inshallah, Ameen. If you, we're going to end with this, Nadima. If you have to return to Afghanistan,
I will.
what?
I am going home.
When you return to Afghanistan, what is your fondest memories?
I love your hospitality. I will miss the Roish Bush, the how do you say your tea? The Roish Bush?
Roy Bush.
Roy Bush. I have it every day.
Yes.
Everybody's so proud to share that with me.
Okay.
I will take your hospitality because we have the same. And also I know you faced with the challenges of electricity, which made me feel good.
Yes.
No, because we have that too. We have that challenge too.
Okay.
And also remembering that it hasn't been easy for any of the people here. I went to Constitution Hill. Yesterday, you know, the Constitution Hill was very emotional for me because, yes, we have to remember the challenges our community faces. We must forgive by welcoming more and learning and remembering that what we have didn't come overnight.
Yes.
And we must share it. That's the reason Allah gives us the platforms, the voices, because we are the vessel. I don't like to say slave because Allah didn't create us slaves. We are the vessel to transmit the information, the revelation that our prophets, they were the last, but we have responsibility to continue to carry those messages. Now they call YouTube messenger journalists, but at the end of the day, we're blessed with the voice. And we have that responsibility. So I am happy that you sisters got together, all of you, especially Maryam. You know, one of the reasons that shook me is because she said salam to me.
Okay.
I've been doing so much media. If you Google me, I am all over and I'm grateful for that. She was the first person to say, Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm like, what? That still is existing.
Yes. No,
that was so, but I'm happy to see it. And that drawn me to her. And also for her to say, Alhamdulillah, and this is the language that we need to use more because, as I said, that we need to embrace all the values and the language and the words that gives us coziness and give us comfort.
Warmth and fuzzy moments.
Yes. And I pray that one day, which I hope very soon, that I'll invite Maryam and yourself to Afghanistan.
Ameen.
And I will sit in the same way and say, how do you feel being in Afghanistan? Because that's what I've learned. And also your hospitality and the support you have for each other and the way you've kept your community close to each other. I know you all have challenges, and that's okay. You must have those challenges. You must have those challenges with sisters and brothers who sometimes forget where they are. That's why maybe Allah brought me also here to remind you of your community and where you had been and where you're going. So I take all the positive memories, and I take that it's not easy. All of you sisters and the community has reminded me that it will be not easy for us Afghan community. And this community, South African community, had challenges. They were repressed because of a color or language or food. The Indian community, I learned that they were put in these ghettos. And look, mashallah, you guys created a beautiful heaven for yourself. And you overcame that. So I know that we're going to be okay too. And now that I will have the support of you, all you powerful sisters, I know I'm going to be good in Afghanistan.
You're definitely going to be good. I'm going to end with this. I saw a clip of Lady Di doing an interview yesterday, and they asked whether she would ever be queen or does she want to be queen. And she said, or her reply was, her response was, she doesn't want to be queen. She wants to be the queen of hearts in people. So this is truly the woman, as Lady Di said. Really, you are the queen of hearts. We really appreciate
But we need the kings to do it. We need the kings and the queens. No, honestly, this is important. Thank you. Very lovely said. Very beautifully said. But we also need to remember that we need to rise our nations together. The mother, the father, the family.
Equilibrium.
Yes, we need to remember that I'm nothing without my brothers in Afghanistan. I am nothing without my sisters in Afghanistan.
Absolutely.
I am here because of the platform, the social media I use, and they liked it. They loved it. They said, good for you. And I was like, oh, the affirmation they gave me. And I'm here because of that. So all of the community matters. The king is chosen by the people, and so is the queen. So they're both important, and you're also a beautiful queen. Thank you so much.
I mean, Jazakallah so much. We're heading off to our function right now, and we've had a lovely talk with Nadima, and she's dressed all in heritage outfit. And inshallah, we'll catch up again. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, Zakira sister, for having me. Thanks to Salam Media. Thank you all of South Africa. Continue to shine, continue to rise each other. Honest to God, I'm telling you, remember this. If you want goodness, you have to give it. And you want to feel high and elevated, elevate someone. This is the greatest feeling in the world. And you made me feel that today. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
I mean, thank you, Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.